As Ahab returned to Yautja Prime to deliver the news of the Predator King's honorable death, he contemplated his words carefully, considering the actions needed to confront a being too powerful to roam free in the cosmos, the godlike Deacon. When Ahab addressed the Yautja civilization, he recounted the king's sacrifice. The news incited a thirst for blood and calls for war among the Yautja. The Predator King, the first to rule, was the most successful and longest reigning king in Yautja history. Though the exact number of years he ruled is unknown, many believe it spanned thousands, marked by countless victories and multiple successful wars. This legacy made the first Predator King the most successful killer and hunter in history, perhaps even in the galaxy and beyond, as he had slain and collected countless trophies from all corners of the universe for millennia. Ahab was well respected in Predator society, and his words carried significant weight. As he described the Deacon and the threat it posed, he made it clear that war was necessary. He warned that the Deacon's destination was Earth, and they had to intercept it before the planet became a breeding ground for the Deacon to amass an army against the galaxy. He cautioned that this war would likely be a one-way ticket, with death almost certain. The Predators roared in unison, craving the honor of a worthy death against such a deadly foe. Although Ahab was not the king, he overturned the late Predator King's rule that forbade the hunter class from going to war. Ahab declared that all must join this effort, calling upon the hunter class, elite class, and even the ancient elders to go to war. The crowd roared in agreement, their bloodlust ignited by Ahab's speech. Recognizing his leadership, the elders appointed Ahab as the temporary leader. Although he had an engineer skull among his trophies, he had yet to kill a xenomorph queen, a tradition that must be fulfilled by anyone aspiring to the throne. For more context, please see my past video, Predator, A King Rises. Before the king's death, Ahab and the king would embark on reconnaissance and sabotage missions. They specifically targeted engineer vessels carrying black goo pathogens or face-hugger embryos, attacking them without hesitation. This strategy can be seen throughout the Alien series. First in Prometheus on planet LV-223, they found an engineer ship downed, with all engineers killed. In a solo mission, this was the Predator King's first retaliatory attack against the engineers for their attack on their homeworld Yautja Prime. Cloaked the entire time, he had sabotaged the vessel, released the black goo pathogen, and claimed his first engineer skull in hand-to-hand combat. Second, in Alien on LV-426 with Ripley, they discovered another stranded engineer ship full of embryo face-hugger eggs. Ahab was involved in this mission, executing it silently alongside the king. Third, and a spoiler warning for the movie Alien Romulus, you might want to pause or fast forward 20 seconds. We learned that the Weyland-Yutani space station was sabotaged. Although it wasn't an engineer ship, the king and Ahab didn't hesitate to kill humans. The Weyland-Yutani Corporation was attempting to perfect the black goo for human evolution, a process the engineers had already perfected and used on themselves. For more information, please see my Predator and Alien series. As the Yautja prepared to orbit Earth and visit their ritual temples, where they would test their skills against xenomorphs, Ahab was given the king's advanced armor, which included 2 shoulder-mounted plasma cannons among other enhancements. Honored to wear the king's armor, Ahab was ready for the challenge ahead. We pick up in the Alien Covenant timeline, where David, the malevolent android, had arrived on Planet 4, the unaltered engineer's homeworld. However, it's believed that this was not their original home. The enhanced space jockeys, altered with the black goo, are rumored to have a secret homeworld heavily guarded, where the Archdeacon was born and the first Deacon to exhibit godlike abilities. David's sinister laboratory, where he experimented and created his own face-hugger eggs, leaves everyone questioning his ultimate purpose. There is speculation that he killed and used Dr. Shaw's body and DNA for his experiments. At the end of Alien Covenant, we see David pretending to be Walter, with altered mini black goo embryos in his possession. intending to carry them to Earth. This sets him on an intercept course not only with the predators but also with the Deacon. Many believe that the altered forms David carried might have been influenced or instructed by the Archdeacon or even the Deacon itself, but to what end? These events seem to be orchestrating a convergence of alien, predator, and the elusive engineers towards Earth that could alter its genetic history and evolution forever. This would put Earth into the biggest conflict in the galaxy, with enemies that are older than Earth itself. Ahab had already positioned the elite class and the elders on Earth, strategically placing the most experienced warriors in case they couldn't stop the Deacon in space. The hunter class remained cloaked in their ships, orbiting the planet and ready to intercept and shoot down any approaching vessel. Suddenly, several asteroids appeared on a collision course with Earth. NASA alerted governments worldwide, and panic quickly spread as hundreds of cities found themselves in the danger zone. Hidden among the asteroids was a ship, its form concealed by the debris. The hunters relayed this information to Ahab, showing him an image of the craft. Ahab instantly recognized the ship from their previous deadly encounter. It was the Deacon, coming for Earth. Ahab was suspicious of how the Deacon had managed to bring all these asteroids along on its journey to Earth. Knowing the Deacon's ability to transform into any matter and manipulate and split its consciousness, Ahab realized it could be using multi-matter manipulation to control the asteroids. He quickly ordered the destruction of all the asteroids and commanded the hunters to board the ship to confirm if the Deacon was on board. The Yautja hunter class, fully cloaked and on high alert, boarded the ship, mindful of Ahab's warnings about the Deacon's immense power. The hunters discovered a xenomorph queen restrained in a manner similar to how the predators handled their own ritual temples. As Ahab received the images, he wondered how the Deacon had found this queen and immediately ordered the temple on Earth to be searched for the queen. To his alarm, the queen was indeed missing. Ahab began to question if the Deacon was already on Earth and if the asteroids in the ship were merely a decoy. He ordered all predators to regroup on Earth. As the hunters were exiting the ship, a massive xenomorph, larger than any they had ever seen, even bigger than the queen, appeared. It had red and black skin, a terrifying presence. This was the Xenomorph King. The Deacon had engineered a king xenomorph, using the queen as an incubator to create a being even more formidable than the queen, with the intention of raising an army. The Xenomorph King had armor plating stronger than any seen before, able to withstand several plasma shots before breaking down. It was a massacre. The newly created Xenomorph King variant effortlessly disposed of the hunters, impaling several at the same time with its enormous tail and tearing every predator apart on the ship. The remaining hunters reported to Ahab that the team on board had all been slaughtered. They also discovered that a ship had landed beside the sacred predator temples, the same ship David the android had arrived on. The situation intensified with a growing dread that David and the Deacon might already be breeding an army on Earth without anyone knowing. As if matters couldn't get worse, engineer ships began to approach Earth. Would the Archdeacon be on the engineer ship, forcing the godlike Deacons to clash? Ahab knew an alliance with humanity was now urgently needed with the transfer of technology. We now shift our focus to several hospitals across America where David has been covertly tampering with IV bags, introducing a newly altered black goo pathogen. Simultaneously, beneath the surface, numerous sewer systems in major cities are teeming with facehugger eggs. This widespread infiltration signals a looming catastrophe and could intentionally accelerate the human evolutionary timeline. Share, like, comment, and subscribe to stay tuned for part 2 of the Alien vs. Predator series.